Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and in this video I'm going to cover a very common herb that is used by many people, and maybe the health benefits are massively overlooked because it's so common, and that is the amazing parsley. Now parsley is something that I grow every single year in my yard, and there's two types that are very well known and used a little bit differently, although they can contain pretty much the same nutrition and health benefits. And that is curly leaf and flat leaf. And I grow both in my garden. We put them in pots every year. Parsley is a biennial, which means it technically has a 2-year lifespan, but many people simply use it as an annual. And for me, where I live in Utah, which we have these harsh winters, it doesn't tend to come back the next year. Every once in a while it will, and then it's like, yay, the parsley came back. But like the chives come back every year. They're very hardy, and we have this really beautiful chive kind of a bush at this point. But the parsley tends to only last a season if you keep it in a perfect place as far as enough sunshine, it gets enough water. It's going to produce the most amazing nutrition for you, along with the things that you might use it for normally. And it's not just a garnish that lives on your plate, even though, you go to a restaurant, there's a little sprig of parsley there for decoration, but myself and most people I know will pluck that piece of parsley up off the plate and chew it up. So parsley is something that is originally from the Mediterranean, so places like Sardinia. In fact, if you know about the blue zones, Sardinia is one of the blue zones where there are the longest living people. They've just have these 100-year plus lifespans, and I believe that it's not just all the other things that they do to keep them healthy and have longevity. It's things like parsley being native to a region like that is well known for its longevity. So Sardinia, other parts of southern Italy, in the Mediterranean. So it's a plant that originated there and now grows all over the world. In fact, Lebanon is one of the places where it originates. And you might be familiar with a really popular Lebanese dish called tabbouleh. In fact, it's my favorite restaurant here in the Salt Lake Valley. It's called Rawtopia, and the owner is from Lebanon. So he makes the most delicious tabbouleh. It's one of the places that if I don't want to make my own tabbouleh, I'll go up and I'll get a little bucket of tabbouleh to go. And it not only tastes delicious, you can literally feel it go in and feed all the cells in your body, help improve your blood. In fact, I'm going to go through all the list of health benefits that parsley is famous for. And you might not realize it. You might just like parsley. In fact, one of my favorite ways to eat parsley is in chimichurri, which is a green sauce that goes really well with certain meats. And interestingly, when you cook meat on the grill and it gets a little charred, we all know that's carcinogenic, not super good for you. But many times people will put chimichurri sauce on the meat, and what the parsley is doing is literally helping to neutralize the carcinogens. In fact, there's an active ingredient. One of the antioxidants in parsley is called apigenin, and it is one of the most, it's actually downplayed quite a bit in the research. If you look in the research, it just lists it along with a couple of other antioxidants. But apigenin is very important for people that are going through cancer treatments, people that have cancer, in their family history, or if you're just a person who wants to prevent, then of course you're going to eat as close to the earth as possible. And parsley is one of those plants that make it super easy. Now, one of my favorite things to do with parsley is make a parsley tea, because it's easy to add to your food, but it might not be something you think about adding until maybe you've already eaten, or it's just on your radar all the time, like it is for us now. We're in the middle of the summer, and our parsley is thriving. But it's super easy to make a parsley tea, and if you just chop off chop off a little bunch of parsley, put it in a cup, pour some boiling water over it, steep it for about 7 minutes. That's kind of my sweet spot with parsley tea. And it will give you a beautiful pop of all these nutrients, all these health benefits, and it tastes really good too. And in fact, one of my favorite things about parsley, and especially in tea form, is that it's a kidney cleanser. It's a natural diuretic. So it helps the fluids move. It's got a real special affinity for your kidneys. So that's a really good reason to have parsley tea, whether that be flat leaf or curly leaf. Now, curly leaf is what most people just who aren't chefs are used to using or buying in the store or growing in your garden. But what's most popular with culinary chefs, people in the restaurants, is the flat leaf, because it is a little bit deeper in its flavor profile. So it's just kind of got that massive pop. In fact, the flat leaf is my favorite because it is so powerful in its flavors. Another good way to use parsley that you're going to get a ton of benefits is to juice it. Juice it up. If you're already making a green juice, if you're a green juice maker, don't forget to add a bunch of parsley, juice it, and you can even drink. One of my favorite things to do is fresh celery juice along with a handful of parsley. And many people are familiar with the medical medium. I think he really, really talks about fresh celery juice every day. Another cool thing about parsley is that it freshens your breath. So chewing on parsley, and think about that. Maybe that's why it ended up on your plate, is so that after you've eaten your meal, you can take that sprig of parsley, chew on your parsley, and it is a natural breath freshener. I think because of all the properties it has, it helps to go after whatever is hanging on your mouth, the bacteria that lives there, and all of that. Now, parsley has a really beautiful, rich history. It was used during the Greek, in the olden Greek times and Roman times, and it was used as a medicinal plant, not surprisingly, as a lot of these culinary foods that people were eating. Of course, they realized, because they were so in tune, not just with Mother Nature, but they were so in tune with the foods that they were eating, and they did not have any experience with all the processed crap that we have all the experience with, right? So it was used for medicinal properties as a diuretic during the Greek and Roman times. Greek used it more symbolically and during funeral rites, and also as in a crown for victors when there were wars, but they didn't use it in their cooking until later. So this was in old times. The Romans later adopted its culinary uses, and then it was the Romans that spread it across Europe. And then, of course, it's all over the world now. You can grow it quite easily. So let me go over some of the health benefits that I absolutely love about parsley. So it's super rich in vitamins and antioxidants, and in particular, vitamin K, which is crucial for blood clotting, vitamin C, vitamin A, and a ton of flavonoids. And one of those flavonoids is the antioxidant apigenin, which I talked about a little earlier. It's got powerful anti-inflammatory properties. It supports your bone health. It supports your kidneys, a diuretic. It supports your heart health, and it's a natural breath freshener. So this is what I say. Take parsley and start adding it into your daily routine. You can easily get it in your grocery store, and buy organic if you can, if you have it available. And then entertain the idea of growing parsley at your home so that you always have access to it. And I would love to know what you think about parsley. Is it something that you incorporate every day? Do you juice it? Do you have it as a tea? Or are you one of those people that ignores it when it's sitting on your plate in a restaurant, or if someone else puts it on your plate if you're having someone prepare you a meal? It's a good time to start really paying attention to these little things that Mother Nature has given us to be healthy and as just part of our normal cooking, because they taste good too. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.